Hey there, this is Tim O'Keefe, Spider Juice Technologies, realestategorilla.com. I want to welcome you to this short little clip on real stimulus for your website. I'm going to explain to you how you can get your site a little bit better traction in Google, Yahoo, and MSN, and at the same time set yourself up so you can start getting more leads and more business. And at realestategorilla.com, we're going to be talking about all those steps in and between and around the edges of not just getting traffic and how do you get traffic through SEO, pay-per-click, etc., but how do you stimulate viewership? How do you blog? How do you capture and create a loyal subscriber, a loyal visitor that will do business with you in the end? Otherwise, why are we doing all this, right? So let's get started with this short little clip on how to get some quick stimulus. We're going to use a metaphor, and that is something that's been in the news lately, and that's stimulus by printing more dollars. Now, whether you agree with that or not, it isn't something new that just happened in this recent administration. It's been going on, obviously, as long as we've been alive. It's a cat and mouse game between the Federal Reserve and playing with interest rates against inflation, deflation, and the amount of dollars out there. And it's a something that's continually happening and measured and balanced against all the different monetary instruments across the world. Because of that, our dollar has become less valuable, and with all the dollars being printed now, it's safe to assume that it'll be less valuable again until other things in the economy, in the instruments, monetary instruments, catch up. And thus it is believed that it is inflationary. And that's simply because we have less value per dollar. It's simple supply and demand without getting into all the economics about it. It's just simple to figure out that if you have $100 today in the universe of which you own one, and tomorrow you have $1 million in the universe of which you own one, your one is worth less. So in the same sense, how does that relate to your website? Well, you have, let's say you have a 10-page website, and the universe of websites are 100. And tomorrow, all of a sudden, there's 100,000 websites, and you're still holding on to your 10. How valuable is your 10 now? So it's just like the dollar. Think of it that way. So how is this real in the real world? Well, in 2007 alone, there was 1.5 blogs created per second. So the rate of growth on the internet is exponential, which means your page, your website, is getting less and less valuable by the second. Congratulations. So how does one compete against this? What do you do? Well, the more pages and you get more citations or links, which we'll talk about in a second. But let's go back just for a brief moment. Just like the value of the dollar diminishes by the second with each dollar printed, so does your web page site diminish as the web continues to grow exponentially. And just like all these printed US dollars are more likely to lead to inflation, thus we have less spending power, likewise your website will have less marketing power in a very, very crowded web. So what is your stimulus plan? Are you going to compete against all these pages, all these websites, the Facebooks, Twitters, the Active Rains? All of these pages, websites, are more than just websites, even if they don't compete against you directly. In other words, if you type in your city plus real estate into Google and you don't see those sites, they're still competing against you because they're on the web. They are part of Google's algorithm in the total value of web pages. It is computed, but how can you compete? You print more pages. So if you only have 10 today, make it a plan so that tomorrow you have 100, or a week from now you have 100, or if that's too hard for you, in a month you have 100. the point is you have to realize that the only way for you to compete online is to take on the persona of a publisher. If you choose to do this, if you choose to be online, then you will have to take on and admit and concede to the fact that you better be a publisher. And I'm not saying be a blogger, which is be a great thing, but be a publisher. Create pages. I don't care if it's on a blog or a regular website. You're creating pages. That's the important thing here. So once you have those pages, you also need to point links or citations, as Google calls them, at your web pages from other valuable pages across the web. So, and this should never end, because if you have 100 links pointing to a page, all else being equal, and tomorrow there's more web pages on the web, theoretically, those links have gone down in value. Even if it's incrementally, they have been reduced down in value. So you have to continue linking. And so where would you get your linking from? Well, you can get them from directories like Yahoo directory, dmoz.org as an example, are two very recognized and perhaps respected hubs and directories in Google's eyes. You can get them from press releases, article syndication, from other blogs, hub marketing, or parasitic syndication, as I like to call it, which is simply going out to hubs or going out to, as an example, free websites, free hosts, Active Rain as an example in the real estate industry, free blog directors, Blogspot or Blogger.com, which is Google's blog system, and create spaces on these different properties. A couple others are like Squidoo, and you would create content on that page, and the whole point of the content is to trap traffic from that particular website, say at Squidoo, and point them to your website. So you're not only capturing the link juice that would link to your website, but you're also hopefully capturing maybe a little bit of traffic from it. Another one that, before I forget, is not Yahoo, YouTube. YouTube videos or any of the video spots that can be a stimulus to get traffic over to your website. Now the links, depending on, like YouTube, there's what's called no followed, so it won't pass on link juice in Google's eyes, but it does. Some of the other ones do pass on link juice, and that's beyond the scope of this, but it is a way to do parasitic syndication. Social bookmarking, that's simply like a Dig or a Delicious, where people put on their favorite websites and they're just bookmarks. As an example, realestateBookmarks.net is a site we run, and they have real estate bookmarks, just information about the property, and it's kind of like a directory, but it's a little bit more 2.0, if you will. Social marketing, going out to the Facebooks, to Twitters, and so forth like that, and you could create, for instance, with a Twitter account, you can create a link from that. So anyway, that is the program. This is just the beginning and a taste of what you'll get at realestategorilla.com. Sign up for your pre-launch priority notification by going to realestategorilla.com right now, and you can get on the list, and we will let you know as soon as we're ready to launch, which should be very shortly. We're going to also be providing other videos and tips and how-tos so that you can become a gorilla online with your real estate marketing.